this is where they get the best experience. So here is the tail of the tape. 102 pounds, this one for you. Petch Noppadej, 16 years of age, 170 centimetres tall, with an official weight of 102 pounds. 60 fights to his name. Petch, 15 years of age, 165 centimetres tall, the shorter of the two. 102.4 pounds officially at the weigh-in, and 45 fights to his name.
We'll see in this first round, in the feeling out round, who's the aggressor and who's going to be fighting on the back foot in this fight. And here we go, our first round of this second bout here this Saturday afternoon on SKS Empire in collaboration with Kiatpetch Promotions.
So it looks like a bit of a tale of the blue shorts being southpaws here, a common theme. Perhaps what they have done today is just put all the southpaws in the blue corner.
Maybe they've made it a little bit easier for us to understand. If they just put all the southpaws in blue, it's easier for the commentators to know who's kicking left and who's kicking right.
That's right. I can't even tell my lefts from my rights on my hands here. So thank you to the team for putting them in the right shorts for me.
Yeah, they obviously think us Westerners are not quite there.
So Petch Noppadej on the back foot. But I'm assuming in about round 3 or 4, he'll pick up the pace and try and clinch up with Petch, take out the distance from the southpaw, who's just swinging in the kicks ever so slightly here, not giving the full volume of power. You don't want to give away too much in the first round to your opponent. But then again, you also want to play the mind game of hurting them in the first round, slapping the kick up and keep them second guessing instead of trying to engage. You want to make them afraid. So it's sort of that mixed bag of not giving away too much, but also playing the mind game with your opponent.
I think it's also difficult as well because in these 5-round fights you do still sometimes see a round 1 KO. So it's knowing when to go for that money shot but knowing when to hold back, and I think it just comes with experience, something that these fighters really do have. I mean, they're 15 and 16 years old with over 40 and 80 bouts, which is just incredible. But I'll be interested to see how Petch does deal with the height difference. There is a 5 centimeter height difference between these fighters, and as a Moifima, you might expect him to relax on the back foot, but as the smaller fighter of the two, I'd be expecting him to small steps and close down that distance.
Well, we did see just about 30 seconds ago, he was going for the rear leg of Petch Noppadej, trying to puncture the tyre, take out the forward movement, and also the kicking power. I think he's expecting with the lengthy and long frame of Petch Noppadej that, he's going to be swinging those kicks nice and high to try and take out the punching power of his opponent. So he's going for that rear leg. You can already see a bit of reddening on the rear leg of his opponent in the red. Petch just shifting very closely, a bit more aggressive than Petch Noppadej, and that is the end of round 1. Very slow round, but pretty typical of 5-round Muay Thai. We'll be back in just a moment. Round 2 brings us, but also thank you for joining us on the SKS Empire YouTube. Make sure to watch us every Saturday right here at Omnoi Stadium. So round 2 underway right now of our second bout of the afternoon. Petch in the blue, the southpaw, taking on the tall and lengthy Petch Noppadej. Petch Noppadej still in defensive mode here as Petch throws out some fakes, trying to trick him into the snare of Petch. Oh, a beautiful
Superman punch there from Petch.
Yeah, beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful.
Good display of balance there. One of those important criterias in Muay Thai.
Petch just really weighing up his options here to close down that distance. A few little fakes, going for that body kick, but also trying to set up that leg kick as well, I think, as he goes straight into the clinch there, driving his head under the chin of Petch Noppadej, which is a beautiful technique from the smaller fighter to really frustrate the taller opponent.
Yeah, good little test out of the clinch. Not giving away too much information there in the second round inside the clinch. Probably just told by the cornerman to test out the clinch, see what Petch Noppadej has, see what he's got in terms of physical strength, but don't give away too much. There it is again, that kick to punch, the Superman overhand. Beautiful work there by Petch.
Yeah, Petch was trying to set that up in the first few seconds of the round, throwing that body kick, seeing how Petch Noppadej did react before throwing that Superman punch, which is exactly what me and Joe were talking about in the first 2 rounds. You do want to see how your opponent reacts and how you can work around those reactions to land the perfect attacking shots.
Petch Noppadej still not giving away too much, but as I said, in defensive mode. And then eats one on the outside, tries to give a big head kick, misses. Petch makes him pay for that mistake and throws out a rear offensive teep to keep him at bay in the distance where he wants him. Petch's distance management, phenomenal here, just showcasing his experience and his ring IQ, making Petch Noppadej look a little bit concerned here. His poker face doesn't look too strong to me, looking a little bit concerned. Still ever focused and still ever dangerous, but a little bit tentative to engage in aggression with Petch.
Yeah, for sure. I could not agree more with you there, Joe. I'd like to see Petch Noppadej stepping up a little bit, but it is only round 2. He might be saving his gas tank for the big rounds in 3 and 4, but it's looking like Petch is pretty dominant in the clinch as we close round 2.
So make sure to join us for round 3. We'll be back in just a moment.
Carries on doing it, it's going to cause some devastation to the long legs of Petch Noppadej.
So here we are for round number 3, expecting the movement and the pace to pick up from Petch Noppadej. He's going to want to shut down the movement of Petch as he gets thrown to the canvas by the technician. And coming up, our next bout, Kunpo taking on Zitar at 120 pounds. So that'll be a cracking one to watch. Make sure to stay tuned for that as Petch Noppadej continues his forward march, trying to shut down the beautiful movement in Petch here in center ring.
Yeah, Petch Noppadej has changed his game plan. He's edging forward, using that left jab to get his distance and engage in a clinch with Petch, which is not something I expected, but those long stabbing knees look like they might be able to do some damage here as he throws Petch off. Oh, but does not manage to capitalize on that as he is thrown to the canvas himself again.
Just looks like Petch might be the physically stronger of the two inside the clinch. He's getting the upper hand in terms of positioning, posture, even from side control where it's a fairly contentious position. He's throwing Petch Noppadej off the center. But however, Petch Noppadej is relentless in his pursuit here, using the long, lengthy knees, but gets taken to the ground by Petch there.
For me, Petch has not even stepped out of third gear. He is really looking so calm. That poker face, his facial expression has not changed this entire fight. He is blocking every single kick. Straight away, kick and block, which is exactly how you would expect a southpaw to fight against an orthodox. But even his clinch, those sweeps from the clinch, he makes it look so easy, but I can tell you, they are not.
Oh, big stabbing knee there from Petch Noppadej, but Petch getting the upper hand with the kick on the end of that exchange. And that's one of those cerebral moves that I'm talking about. When out on the outside of the clinch, you want to kick to end the exchange and get the last point over your opponent as Petch Noppadej tries to move in with the kick. Nearly gets taken down, but shows his balance like a ballerina here at Omnoi Stadium, and his hip dexterity as he nearly gets his knee taken over his own head.
That was impressive. The flexibility there from Petch Noppadej as he manages to evade the sweep of Petch. Wow, that was impressive. He is really pressuring forward now. He's bringing the fight to Petch, and his aggression is shining through as he gets in the clinch and sends a stabbing knee, but Petch is not wanting to engage as we close the third round here. Stay tuned as we go into another big round in round 4 of this second bout of the afternoon. Everything he does is so effortless at the moment, but let's see if he can deal with the sheer pressure of Noppadej in this round, who seems to be wanting to walk forward, walk his opponent down, and send in those big knees, but he is taken to the canvas in the process by Petch, who is bringing the fight to him this time.
And it could be a battle of the conditioning again. Could Noppadej really turn this around? I mean, we started off the round with a big dramatic dump there from Petch, more dramatic than a soap opera, but Petch locks onto the neck with that vice grip as Noppadej sends the stabbing knees through like a misty English morning.
Yeah, Noppadej is just stabbing those knees right through the middle, landing on the solar plex of Petch. So let's see how many of those he can sustain in this 4th round. Noppadej is not stopping going forward. That Muay cow lock there, he tried to grab on, but it didn't quite work.
And you could see there Petch trying to protect his midsection with his left arm, and that's a pretty telltale sign that the gas tank has been depleted, that the midsection is starting to break. Will Rome burn where it stands? Will Noppadej break the technician where he stands with these vicious torpedo knees?
Ooh, I think you are right. Petch is hurt, in another word for it. He is struggling and surviving in the last half of round 4, but he manages to just sweep his opponent to the ground. A cheeky little kick there as Noppadej does step up from the canvas. I'm not sure the referee clocked that one, but this is now a Muay cow war, with Noppadej stabbing those knees up through the middle and Petch trying to keep him off, but I'm not sure he can for the last minute.
Even though Petch is a master of the custodial arts, sweeping his opponents with the floor, but will it be enough to see him through this fight as Noppadej continues to break the foundation where it stands with those big, ferocious knees. Big swing and a miss from that hacking elbow from Noppadej. Bit of a break and a rundown of the clock there from Petch. Veteran move in the dying seconds of this round. Big swinging elbow for Noppadej.
The corner, the blue corner are going absolutely mental at this moment in time, but Noppadej is really dominating that clinch, locking on those hands and eating away at the core of Petch, which you can see is bright red, and he is trying to protect that left side.
Like a worm to an apple, eating at the core. That is the end of round 4. We'll be back in just a moment. Stay tuned for the 5th and final round. What you think of these fights in the comment section at home. Absolutely riveting stuff. I'm nearly breaking the plastic seat that I'm sitting in. Here we are, 5th and final round of action.
Oh, Petch come out swinging with his hands there, blocking and countering with some heavy hands, but let's see if his power and his strength is still there after the stabbing knees of Petch, as you're seeing right now. One after another, kick, knee, that is his game plan, and he has executed it beautifully.
Petch, in a moment of desperation, in my eyes, really trying to knock out Noppadej with those body shots. But I think Noppadej is doing a fantastic job of nullifying this by just breaking him down in the clinch, getting the upper hand in positioning here, and stabbing those knees through.
Yeah, he is definitely looking the stronger fighter in the clinch there, and I'm just not sure Petch has the strength to go against such a tall fighter in the clinch and counter those knees every single time.
I think a real way to turn this around is utilize those dumps and the sweeps go back to the custodial arts that he was showcasing in round 2 and round 3. He's going to need something dramatic here to really sway the judges' thoughts, in my mind. Even though he's been putting on a big show, sometimes the crowd, the punters, they love to see a good knee battle, and that's what we're seeing right here from Noppadej. Petch on the back foot now, trying to protect his points a little bit. Perhaps he thinks he's got it as Noppadej marches forward like a Napoleonic army, locking inside the clinch as our referee breaks them apart on the forward. Munch again. Oh, big right hand over the top. Locks on, tries to take the back. Doesn't quite get it as our referee breaks them apart again.
The atmosphere in here is going crazy. The corners are going crazy. It is all to play for in this 5th and final round, as each of our fighters in the blue and the red corner think they have done enough to take the win in this bout of the afternoon.
There's more action here than a Bristolian rave right here in center ring as both our fighters showcase their dance move. Much better than a Bristolian rave, in my opinion, anyway.
The referee is calling for some action, though, but neither fighter is wanting to engage, as that is the end of the 5th round of this bout between some beautifully talented fighters. What a matchup on Kiatpetch promotion in collaboration with SKS Empire. Absolutely phenomenal Muay Thai from all angles. Let's see who has come out on top, though, as the referee takes our scorecards from our judges as each fighter. Oh!
And Samur. It is a draw. Very even and a very well-judged fight, in my opinion. I thought it was quite even apiece. Petch taking, I would say, round 1, round 2, half of round 3, but Noppadej coming back in the later half of round 3, round 4